Hi, you are on the channel A Brief Retelling, and today I will tell you about the movie The Girl Who Escaped, the Kara Robinson story. Enjoy watching. At first, we are shown Kara handcuffed, but this scene is replaced by waking up in the room of her friend Jess. Today, the girls are going to go to the lake, which Kara informs her mother about. Jess needs time to take a shower before they go out having fun, but her parents asked her to water the plants in the yard. Kara takes on this responsibility. In the process of watering, a man approaches the girl. After learning that there are no adults in the house, he gets close to the girl and puts a gun to her throat. Richard forces Kara to get into the box and leaves. After taking a shower, Jess tries to find her friend, but finds only a hose left on the ground. Kara, meanwhile, is trying to fight the panic. Having driven into a deserted place, the man stops and informs that he is going to curb the girl. He would tie her up and gag her, but if she resisted, he would always have a gun with him.
Escape.
Having played this cruel scene in her head, Kara decides to wait for another moment and fulfills the demands of the kidnapper. Richard puts the girl back in the container and continues on his way. Meanwhile, a worried Jess calls Kara's mom, hoping that maybe she took her daughter away for urgent business, but this is not the case. Deborah finds the number of Ryan, Kara's boyfriend, but he also doesn't know where his girlfriend is now. After bringing the box home, Richard frees Kara and takes her to the bedroom, on the bed of which the girl notices accessories of a sexual nature. Richard designates his own rules. The first is that the kidnapper will always have a gun with him. The second is that Kara should call him daddy. The third is that she is obliged to do everything that Richard orders her. After sitting the girl on the bed, Richard begins to record all of Kara's personal information, starting with the name of relatives and their place of residence and ending with details about her sex life. In Kara's head, only follow the rules of wait and survive. Deborah calls her ex-husband Ron, who also didn't pick up his daughter. Now there is no doubt that Kara was abducted, but the police are in no hurry to organize a search. The policeman believes that the girl only committed stupidity and ran away without telling anyone. After saying, "Wait for her to call," the cop leaves. After Richard took Kara to the shower, he starts a conversation about the girl's studies. Kara, on the other hand, tries to gather as much information as possible about her abductor and keeps the conversation going. Then she finds out that Richard graduated from school before the others, after which he joined the Navy, but left after 9 years of service without waiting for his promotion.
Escape.
No! No!
Wait.
Richard returns with a pipe, forcing the girl to inhale the drug. The kidnapper promises to release Kara after he finishes with her. But if she goes to the police, she will forever become a raped girl for others. After these words, Richard sits Kara in front of the TV and turns on adult movies for her. Meanwhile, Deborah is calling everyone she can call. From the information they have, a neighbor saw a black car when the girl disappeared. Evening comes, Kara asks to go to the toilet. Seeing the window in the bathroom, she has a hope to escape, but the kidnapper does not allow her to close. Now, Richard is preparing dinner for them, and Kara, under the pretext of helping, begins to sweep the kitchen, memorizing personal information about the kidnapper. Richard turns to the girl and tells her to take off her t-shirt. Deborah directly appeals to the sheriff, who in turn promises to attract his very best people. But it is clear from the smile on his face that he does not believe in the abduction, but is convinced that the girl has gone somewhere with her friends. They return to the TV again. Richard turns it on with the words, "Let's see if anyone is worried about you." The news shows the persecution. Now Richard psychologically puts pressure on the girl, claiming that no one loves her and may not even have noticed her disappearance, after which he grabs the girl and takes her to the bedroom. Richard needs to make a call, so he puts a gag on Kara and puts her back in the container. The girl begins a severe panic attack. She loses control of her breathing and practically remains without access to oxygen. Richard takes out the gag and tells him to be quiet. After making the call, the kidnapper praises Kara for her obedience, after which he gives her a pill. It's time to go to bed.
Escape. Wait.
Richard chains Kara to the bed, and with the words, "Important things are waiting for us tomorrow," he goes to sleep next to her. The girl wakes up before her abductor, so she proceeds to her release. She manages to unfasten the carbine and free her legs, after which Kara silently leaves the house. Feeling the taste of freedom, the girl rushes away from her captor. On the road, she stops the car with a request to take her to the police station, where she tells about her abduction. She explains that the man forcibly abducted her and, under threat of murder, raped the girl several times. It's been 18 hours since the abduction, and she's been at his house all this time. She did not remember the specific address, nor did those who gave her a lift, but Kara is going to get justice at any cost. So, pulling herself together, she goes with the cops in search of an apartment. Everything in the area seems the same, so they decide to check the information with one of the locals. Thanks to the details about the kidnapper's apartment, the man manages to recall a number similar to the description. The policeman contacts the dispatcher, directing the surveillance team to apartment 301, and he takes Kara to the police station to Deborah. Seeing no activity in the room, the cops decide to go inside. One of the policemen finds a similarity with the description of Kara, realizing that this is the same apartment. But the kidnapper is not in it. At the identification, the girl calls her abuser. She also names everything she remembers about Richard, right down to his dentist and the doctor's personal number. Kara informs that the police need to check the box, which is located under the cage with the parrots. Richard didn't want Kara to see it, so there's obviously something important there. In it, the cops also find clothes and newspaper clippings about missing girls. The search for the kidnapper is in full swing, but Richard's trail has disappeared. Having picked up the archives of the incidents from newspaper clippings, the sheriff found out that the maniac already had many victims on his account. Richard kidnaps the girls right from the doorstep, after which he keeps them locked up for several days, and after playing enough, drowns them in his bathroom and throws them into the swamp. Kara is visited by her friend and boyfriend, but the girl is depressed, so she asks her mother to go home. But there is no peace for her here. The house is crowded with policemen. Everyone is worried, but not Kara. It seems that morally she has already returned to her former life, so the behavior of others does not give her peace of mind. The policeman contacts Richard's wife, and it becomes clear that she did not even know the man with whom she lived all these years. The only adequate person in Richard's environment turns out to be his sister. After learning about what happened, she reports that she suspected her brother's mental deviation and reports that last day he checked in under her name at the hotel, after which he did not contact her. Seeing off her friend, Kara meets with the sheriff. He, like everyone around, informs her that it is dangerous for her to leave the house until the criminal is caught.
Maybe you should get out there and catch him. I mean, you certainly didn't help me the first time around.
The fact that she is now at home is solely the merit of the girl herself, and it is clearly not those who have been inactive who should tell her how to act. And again, they don't have time to catch Richard. It looks like someone from his family told him that they were coming for him. Another policeman approaches the Carrie, but he didn't come to say that she was a victim, but to notice that she was a survivor. Thanks to her own efforts, she managed to save her life. Moreover, after the capture of the criminal, it will prevent his further crimes. The police managed to detect Richard's call. They believe that he's going to meet his second sister. After contacting her, it becomes clear that Richard has scheduled a meeting for her at a cafe in the evening. Kara is going to baseball with her friend, as they usually did, but Deborah is in no hurry to let her daughter go, claiming that it is too dangerous. Immediately, Kara breaks down. All her confidence and steadfastness is a defensive reaction. The girl is just trying to move on, as it was before, as if deleting those fateful 18 hours from her memory. She can't let Richard take away her normal life along with her innocence. Being in positions, the police notice the criminal and begin the pursuit. Cornering him, Richard pulls out a gun, and being afraid of the consequences, commits suicide for the crimes committed. Kara enthusiastically watches her boyfriend play. The next morning, Deborah prepares breakfast for her daughter. There is satisfaction on the woman's face, which Kara notices. Only now the girl finds out that Richard committed suicide yesterday. Angry, she runs out into the backyard. Here the sheriff approaches her, to whom the girl opens up. She is very angry with her captor. All these days, she was waiting for the capture of the criminal. Kara wanted to meet him in court and tell him everything she remembered. To look at her, Richard realized that he had made the most terrible mistake in his life and went to rot in prison for many years. This was supposed to be Kara's absolution. The policeman also makes it clear that the criminal clearly regretted what he had done, and Kara continues to live her normal life. And that's it, friends. Do not forget to subscribe because there is still a lot of interesting things ahead of you.